The legacy ship, Captain Maya Chen, stood on the bridge of the UES Resilient, watching the stars drift slowly past the viewport. The old warship had been in service for over 40 years, a testament to human engineering that refused to die. Unlike the gleaming vessels of the Galactic Concorde, the Resilient was a patchwork of repairs, upgrades, and workarounds. A ship that had no right to still be operational, according to their alien allies. "Captain, incoming transmission from Admiral Chorus," announced Lieutenant Rodriguez from the communication station. Maya straightened her worn uniform jacket. On screen, the holographic display flickered to life, revealing the imposing figure of Admiral Chorus of the Viridian Empire. His scaled face wore the characteristic look of disdain that most advanced species reserve for humans. "Captain Chen," he began, his translator barely masking the condescension in his tone. "The Concorde fleet will be performing tactical exercises in your sector. Your vessel is instructed to maintain a minimum safe distance of 5 light minutes." "Admiral," Maya responded evenly, "the Resilient is scheduled for patrol in this sector. We're monitoring unusual energy signatures. Your outdated sensors are likely malfunctioning." Chorus interrupted. "Leave real military operations to ships that weren't obsolete before their captains were born." Without waiting for a response, he terminated the connection. Maya's first officer, Commander Eli Park, approached from his station. "That went about as well as expected. The Viridians have always underestimated us," Maya replied, tapping her console to bring up the sensor readings that had concerned her. "But these energy signatures are real, and they match nothing in our database. The Concorde doesn't think we belong at the big table," Eli said. "Humans have only been spacefaring for a century. To them, we're children playing with dangerous toys." Maya zoomed in on the anomalous readings. Children who survived the Proxima War without any help from the almighty Concorde. "Captain," called out Ensign Patel from the science station, her voice tight with urgency. "I've completed the deep spectrum analysis of those energy signatures. They're similar to records from the Arcturus incident." The bridge fell silent. 50 years ago, before Earth had even joined the Galactic Concorde, the human colony on Arcturus had been destroyed. Official records claimed it was a catastrophic reactor failure, but classified files told a different story. An unknown entity that had appeared without warning and vanished just as quickly, leaving only destruction in its wake. "Are you certain?" Maya asked. "The frequency patterns match 89%, Patel confirmed. "And they're getting stronger." Maya made her decision. Eli set course for the source. "Lieutenant Rodriguez, inform Concorde Command of our findings and our intentions." "Captain," Rodriguez replied hesitantly, "Admiral Chorus has specifically ordered us to withdraw." "Then make it clear we're investigating a potential Category 1 threat as per Treaty Article 17. Maya's voice hardened. "They can court-martial me later if they want." The Resilient's engines hummed to life, the old ship responding with the reliability that had kept it in service long past its expected decommission date. They traveled for 6 hours toward the source of the energy signatures, maintaining communication silence as they approached. "Multiple contacts ahead," reported Lieutenant Commander Takeda at Tactical. "Configuration unknown, not matching any Concorde registry." On the main view screen, a dozen dark, angular vessels moved in perfect formation. They were unlike anything in known space. No visible propulsion systems, no recognizable weapons arrays, just smooth obsidian surfaces that seemed to absorb light rather than reflect it. "They're not responding to standard hails," Rodriguez said. "Try all frequencies, all languages in the database," Maya ordered. She turned to Patel. "Any similarities to the Arcturus records?" "The energy signature is identical, Captain. These are the same entities that destroyed the colony." A tremor ran through the ship as a beam of energy lanced out from the lead alien vessel, missing the Resilient by mere kilometers. "Evasive maneuvers," Maya ordered. "Tactical analysis of that weapon." Takeda's hands flew across his console. Energy type unknown, but based on dispersal pattern. Captain, that wasn't a miss. It was a scan. They're taking our measure, Maya realized. Rodriguez, emergency broadcast to all Concorde vessels. Include all sensor data on these entities and reference the Arcturus incident. The alien ships began to move, their formation shifting with unnatural precision. The Resilient shuddered as energy readings spiked off the charts. They're charging weapons, Takeda warned. Full power to shields, Maya commanded. Prepare to. The attack never came. Instead, the alien vessels abruptly changed course, accelerating toward the Concorde fleet's position. They're not interested in us, Eli said, puzzled. They're targeting the Concorde exercises. Maya's eyes narrowed. Because we're not a threat to them. We're just an outdated ship with outdated weapons. She paused, her realization dawning. Or maybe that's exactly why they ignored us. Captain. The Viridians, the Kelnari, all the advanced species, they've been developing quantum-based technology for the past century. Shields, weapons, propulsion, all operating on similar principles. Maya moved to the science station. What does our ship use, Ensign Patel? Graviton pulse shielding and magnetically accelerated projectile weapons, Patel answered. Technology that most species abandoned a century ago. Exactly. Maya turned to her crew. These entities attacked Arcturus 50 years ago, before we adopted Concorde technology standards. Now they're back, and they're ignoring us while heading straight for the most advanced ships in the quadrant. You think our primitive systems are invisible to them? Eli asked. Or irrelevant, Maya replied. But that might be our advantage. A distress call cut through their speculation. The Concorde fleet was under attack. The alien vessels had torn through their formation, disabling their ships with frightening efficiency. Advanced defensive systems failed without explanation, leaving the mighty warships drifting and powerless. Their weapons are targeting quantum field generators, Patel observed as data streamed in. Ships with conventional systems are being affected less severely. Maya made a decision that would either end her career or save the Concorde. Helm, set an intercept course. Tactical, load all conventional warheads, nothing with quantum detonators. Communications, inform any surviving Concorde vessels to switch to backup systems if they have them. Captain, Eli cautioned, we're going up against unknown technology that just disabled the most powerful fleet in the galaxy. Maya's eyes gleamed with determination. With a ship they consider obsolete, Commander. Sometimes the oldest tools are the ones your enemies have forgotten how to defend against. As the Resilient approached the battlefield, they witnessed the devastation. The pride of the Concorde, massive Viridian dreadnoughts, sleek Kelnari cruisers, and advanced Tellarite battleships, drifted helplessly, their quantum drives and weapon systems dead. The alien vessels moved among them methodically, like predators selecting which prey to consume first. I need options, Maya said. What can our outdated ship do that might actually hurt these things? The bridge crew worked frantically, analyzing the limited data they had. Finally, Patel spoke up. Captain, these entities appear to exist partially in quantum space. That's how they're disabling the advanced systems. But our old-fashioned electromagnetic pulse generators might disrupt their connection to our space-time. Maya finished the thought. Takeda, can we modify our EMP generators to target their specific frequency? It's possible, Takeda said, but we have to get dangerously close, and we'd probably fry our own systems in the process. Not if we shield the bridge and engine room with the old lead composite plates from Cargo Bay 3. Engineer Lai called up from below decks. They're left over from the radiation shielding we replaced last year. Do it, Maya ordered. We have 30 minutes before they finish with the Concorde ships, and notice us. Make them count. The crew of the Resilient worked with practiced efficiency, their years on an aging vessel having taught them how to improvise with limited resources. While newer ships relied on automated systems and AI assistance, the Resilient's crew had learned to think creatively, to solve problems with their hands and minds, rather than with advanced technology. As they approached the alien fleet, Maya broadcasted one final message to the crippled Concorde vessels. "This is Captain Maya Chen of the UES Resilient. We're attempting to disable the hostile entities with modified electromagnetic pulse technology. Any vessels with conventional backup systems should prepare to engage after our attack." Admiral Chorus's voice came through, weak but still carrying its characteristic arrogance. "Captain Chen, your antiquated technology cannot possibly." "With respect, Admiral," Maya cut him off. "Your advanced technology isn't doing so well right now. Sometimes the old ways work when the new ones fail." She closed the channel and addressed her crew. "All hands, brace for EMP deployment. Remember, we only get one shot at this." The Resilient accelerated toward the heart of the alien formation, its aging engines pushing to their limits. For once, its unremarkable profile served as perfect camouflage, just another piece of space debris, not worth the attention of beings who had disabled far more impressive vessels. "EMP generators at maximum charge," Takeda reported. "Ready on your command." Maya looked around at her crew, humans who had been dismissed, underestimated, and mocked by their allies. In this moment, they were the galaxy's last hope. "Let's show them what this piece of junk can do," she said. Fire, turning the tide. A blinding flash erupted from the Resilient, expanding outward in a perfect sphere of electromagnetic energy. The modified pulse, calibrated to the exact frequency of the alien entities, tore through their formation. The mysterious vessels shuddered, their smooth surfaces suddenly rippling with what looked like electric current. 3 of the smaller ships went completely dark, drifting listlessly. "Direct hit," Takeda called out, his voice barely audible over the blaring alarms. 6 enemy vessels showing significant power fluctuations. 3 appear completely disabled. Maya gripped her command chair as the Resilient shook violently. "Damage report. Main power down 60%. Engineer Lai reported from below decks. EMP blowback was stronger than we calculated. Auxiliary systems holding, but we've lost long-range sensors and weapons targeting." The lead composite shielding worked, Eli added. "Checking systems. Bridge electronics and engine control are functional, but we won't be able to generate another pulse." The aliens had noticed them now. The remaining operational vessels turned toward the Resilient, their singular focus now a death sentence for the human ship. "Evasive maneuvers," Maya ordered. "Maximum thruster output. Get us behind the Viridian dreadnought." The old ship groaned under the strain as Lieutenant Cortez at the helm pushed it beyond safety parameters. They barely slipped behind the massive bulk of Admiral Chorus's disabled flagship as energy beams lanced through the space they had occupied seconds before. "Captain," Rodriguez called out, "I'm receiving transmissions from the Concorde fleet. Some vessels are reporting partial restoration of backup systems, the older, non-quantum ones. The EMP must have disrupted whatever field the aliens were using to disable ships," Maya reasoned. "Broadcast to all vessels. If you have any functional conventional weapons, target the alien ships we've already weakened." From their position behind the dreadnought, they watched as a few Concorde ships sparked to life. Old-fashioned missile tubes, maintained only as emergency backups, opened on the hulls of various vessels. Conventional warheads streaked across space, finding targets among the disoriented alien ships. 2 more enemy vessels went dark, but the others adapted quickly. Their surfaces shifted, hardening against the primitive assault. They regrouped, preparing for a counterattack. "They're learning," Eli observed grimly, "adapting their defenses." "Then we need to change our approach," Maya said. Her mind raced through possibilities. "Lai, what's the status of our tractor beam?" "Functional but at 40% capacity," came the reply. "That's enough. Cortez, bring us around to the debris field from that destroyed Kelneri cruiser. Let's gather some improvised ammunition." The Resilient maneuvered to the shattered remains of the Concorde vessel, using its tractor beam to gather large chunks of wreckage. "What's the plan, Captain?" Eli asked as they collected the debris. These entities clearly exist partially in quantum space, which is why they can disrupt advanced systems so easily, Maya explained. But they still have physical form in normal space. If we can't disable them with energy, maybe we can damage them with good old-fashioned kinetic impact. Understanding dawned on Eli's face. We're going to throw rocks at them. Very large, very fast rocks, Maya confirmed with a grim smile. Tactical, calculate optimal release trajectories to accelerate this debris into their formation. Use the gravitational slingshot around that gas giant. The alien ships began to advance on the partially recovered Concorde fleet, seemingly confident in their ability to handle the primitive weapons being deployed against them. They hadn't noticed the resilience activity on the edge of the battlefield. Debris trajectory calculated, Takeda announced. Ready to release on your mark. Wait for them to cluster, Maya ordered, watching the alien formation. Their attack pattern brings them together every 40 seconds to synchronize their energy weapons. The bridge crew held their breath as the alien vessels moved with mechanical precision, gradually coming into a tighter formation as they prepared another devastating attack on the Concorde ships. Now, Maya commanded. The Resilient released its makeshift projectiles, dozens of multi-ton fragments of the destroyed cruiser. The debris accelerated around the gas giant's gravity well, picking up tremendous speed before slamming into the clustered alien vessels. The impact was catastrophic. Unable to react quickly enough to the simple kinetic attack, 3 more alien ships were completely destroyed, torn apart by the high-velocity debris. The others scattered, their perfect formation broken. Multiple direct hits, Takeda reported, unable to keep the excitement from his voice. Enemy formation disrupted. Captain, Rodriguez cut in. Admiral Chorus is hailing us. His engineers have adapted our EMP design to work with their remaining systems. They're ready to deploy on your signal. For the first time, Maya heard something like respect in the Viridian Admiral's communication. The survivors of the Concorde fleet had rallied, improvising weapons and defenses based on the Resilience example. Ships that had been designed never to need backup systems were being rewired on the fly, their crews learning what humans had always known: how to adapt when technology failed. Coordinate with the Concorde vessels, Maya ordered. We'll herd the remaining alien ships into position with another debris launch, and they can hit them with synchronized EMP bursts. The plan worked better than anyone could have hoped. The aliens, already disoriented by the unpredictable tactics, found themselves caught in a series of electromagnetic pulses that completely severed their connection to quantum space. Stripped of their advantage, they were quickly dispatched by the combined firepower of the partially recovered fleet. When the last alien vessel had been neutralized, an eerie silence fell over the battlefield. The once mighty Concorde armada floated in disarray. Many ships still powerless, others operating on the most basic systems. The Resilient, despite its age and the damage it had sustained, remained one of the most functional vessels in the quadrant. Admiral Chorus is requesting permission to come aboard, Rodriguez announced, sounding somewhat bewildered by the unprecedented request. Permission granted, Maya replied. Have a security team escort him to the conference room. 30 minutes later, Maya stood face to face with the Viridian Admiral. His usually impeccable uniform was scorched and torn, his scales dulled from smoke and stress. He regarded her with eyes that had lost their condescension. Captain Chen, he began formally, I have been authorized by the Concorde High Command to extend our official gratitude for your intervention. Without the Resilient, we would have been completely annihilated. Just doing our duty, Admiral, Maya replied evenly. No, Chorus shook his head slowly. You did more than that. You reminded us of something we had forgotten in our pursuit of technological advancement. He gestured around the conference room of the old human vessel. This ship, which we mockingly called obsolete, saved the pride of the Concorde fleet precisely because it didn't rely on the latest technology. Maya allowed herself a small smile. Humans have a saying, Admiral, don't put all your eggs in one basket. A wise philosophy, Chorus acknowledged. The Concorde has already begun implementing new protocols. All ships will be required to maintain conventional backup systems. And he seemed to struggle with his next words. We will be requesting human advisors to help design these systems. The Resilient and her crew stand ready to assist, Maya said. After the Admiral departed, Maya returned to the bridge, where her crew was busy with repairs. The view screen showed the Concorde fleet slowly regrouping, towing their disabled vessels. Among them, several ships had modified their systems based on the Resilient's design, already adapting and evolving. Engineering estimates 3 days for basic repairs, Eli reported as she took her seat. Though Lieutenant Lai says he could use some of that Viridian composite material if they're offering. I think they might be, Maya replied with a smile. Apparently, we're not just an obsolete relic anymore. So what happens now? Eli asked, looking out at the stars. Maya considered the question. The galaxy had changed today. Humanity, long dismissed as the newcomers, had proven their worth not through advanced technology, but through their ability to adapt, to think differently, to find solutions where others saw only problems. Now, she said, we rebuild. We learn from this encounter. And we remind everyone, including ourselves, that sometimes the oldest tools are exactly what you need when facing a new threat. As the Resilient moved to assist a damaged culinary vessel, its aging hull stood out among the sleeker ships of the Concorde fleet. But now, those differences were viewed with newfound respect rather than derision. The ship that had been laughed at as a piece of junk had become the savior of the galaxy's most powerful fleet. And Maya Chen, watching her crew work with the efficiency that came from years of making do with less, knew that this was just the beginning of humanity's true contribution to the stars.